Hi everyone, my name is Nicholas and I am a coach. I utilize neuro-linguistic programming. I am an intuitive, a healer, a channeler, and an avid space holder. So what I do is I act as a bridge from where you are now to where you want to be and to who you should be by just believing and trusting in yourself and in your process. So I'm deeply honored to be here and just talk about mental health and some of the things that I went through and a couple of tips and tools that I've used in the last couple of years going through my own depression. And how I got out of it, how I got out of my head and into my body. And yeah, I'm really honored just to share this space with you. So just to give you a bit of an idea of what I'm about is I went through depression for most of my childhood into my early 20s or so. And it was never really diagnosed, but as I got older and more aware, I realized that this is something that I'm actually going through. This is something that other people have had and they vocalized, but I never really had the words and didn't even know I was suffering or experiencing these emotions. I just thought it was the norm. I just thought it was normal to feel really fatigued and really drained and to really be filled with all these different thoughts and emotions and to be in this void all the time where it's so dark that you don't necessarily feel that light, you don't feel that warmth. And you being the place where you should feel the safest is no longer that safe space. So today I would like to dig into mental health, but from a different perspective. And I'm sure psychologists and psychiatrists will look at everything from the mental perspective, which is so important. But I see the body and mind and all these different aspects very differently. So you firstly have the mental body. You then have the energetic body. You have the emotional body. And then you have your physical body. Now, these four bodies integrate into one another. And this symbiosis that is created allows you to function in the way that you do. And when certain bodies are out of alignment, one experiences chronic pain, you may experience different mental ailments or side effects, a lot of thinking, a lot of looped thoughts, certain patterning, beliefs, limiting beliefs. You may have unexplainable weird feelings within your body. You may also have pins and needles or areas where you're just weak and you don't understand why, or you just don't feel like you're in your body and you always feel like you're floating up somewhere there and you disassociate a lot. This is where it's so important to tie in these Western and Eastern teachings into the now moment, as we have all this information, but how do you interlink everything? So with that being said, when we are experiencing difficulties with the thoughts that we are experiencing, and when we are in a position where the mind has become overrun and is ruled by these thoughts, my question to you is, do you really think that you are your thoughts? Are you truly your thoughts? Are you the one that is thinking? Are those your thoughts? And most of us would say yes, that we are our thoughts. I mean, our thoughts create our reality. And yes, to a degree. But when you delve a little bit deeper into consciousness and awareness, humans are so intuitive in nature that we have this collective mind where we share thoughts unbeknown to us. And have you ever noticed when, here's just an interesting example of this, but have you ever noticed when you're in a collective group and so many of these other coaches, and it does make sense because of this understanding of this, but the five people that you hang around mostly, those individuals, you end up taking on their traits, taking on their thoughts, taking on their energies, and so you become those people. And if you take that and you now just dig into it from now a energetic perspective and a conscious perspective, we end up taking on other people's thoughts, especially people that we are spending a lot of time with. And even if that's not the case, imagine there's this big cloud computer, and if our frequency is at a certain vibration and we are linking to that specific cloud all the time, those thoughts are going to come into our mind. They're going to come into our space, and we're going to believe that they are ours, but they're not. And these thoughts can be like, I'm not worthy, I'm not pretty, I'm not beautiful, I'm not intelligent. What is the point of this existence? Why am I here? What is my purpose? I don't feel like I have purpose. I haven't found it. And you just find ways to validate all of these negative thoughts and feelings that you have about yourself. And by you getting to an acute awareness that you are not your thoughts, that you can choose when to think, that you have choice, and you don't need to become an avid meditator or a monk, but by you just creating that awareness and being able to say, hey, hold on a minute, I'm gonna just take a moment here for myself and recognize that these thoughts actually aren't mine. And here's an easy practice for you. And here's one of the tools that I'd like to share. Say you have a thought that passes through your mind and you recognize it, because it does take some practice. All of these things take practice. And let's say you recognize that you hear something like, I'm not worthy. Okay? And you're like, but I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just sitting watching TV, or I was reading. And now I have this do you really think that you sat and planned to say, I am not worthy? No, you didn't. That is a thought, a collective thought that has just infiltrated your space. And you now have the choice to believe a thought that is not yours, and to internalize it, and then to become it. And by you taking that pause and saying, am I this thought? And you get that feeling in your body, which is, no, you are not that. That's someone else's. And you say, okay, well, I'm going to dismiss that and just send that back. That's not mine. Notice that. So think, or if you have a thought that's crossing your mind right now with what I'm saying, imagine that you're just sitting there now, and take that moment to be like, did I think this? And feel in your body, did you think that? Or you get in a gut sensation, or a tingly sensation, or a resounding yes or no in your mind that just pops up randomly. If yes, if no. If no, it's okay. But there's normally a feeling or an emotion that will allow you to dictate if that is your thought or not. But the fact that you didn't sit and consciously choose to think that, is it really your thought? By you doing this practice and asking and kind of acting like a conscious filter system that doesn't just allow these things to pass by and you just accept it as this is what I am, you begin to question. And it sounds so tedious, like, Nick, I think a lot. We all do. But by you quieting your mind and understanding that you thinking and just being is such a sacred process in itself, and by you recognizing that there's this collective consciousness that you can be drawing upon, or that could be in your space at times, and it's not even your thoughts, that awareness on its own just allows you to let go of those shackles and be like, wow, I'm not all those things. So then who am I? I'm now stuck with that conundrum. And honestly, this has gone now a little bit philosophical, but honestly, you are limitless potentiality. You are limitless. Just feel that. You are limitless. No matter what emotion has been stimulated or triggered from having that thought, at the end of the day, you are limitless. You are not your emotions. You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are a beautiful divine being. You are a soul having a human experience. How amazing is that? A chance in 1 in 4 trillion to actually be a human. And here you are. You're human. You're here. You are gifted with this life and this experience. How amazing is that? You have 17,000 breaths every single day. Can you imagine being grateful for every single one of those moments? Wow, this is amazing. Without your breath, there is no life. Nothing works without breath. And that brings us to tool number 2. So, when you are overwhelmed and you are experiencing these thoughts and you are really low and being engulfed with this, I'm not worthy, I don't want to be here, I want to possibly take my life. When you get to that low moment, and so many of us have had it, remember you always have choice. And you have your breath. Those are 2 things that you have control over. And where does that choice reside? It resides in this now. Where does your breath reside? It resides in this now, the present moment. You get to make the choice. No one can take that away from you. You get to make your choice on what your next move is. Do I carry on thinking this? Do I consider taking my life if things are that difficult? Or do I make a choice to make a change? Do I make a decision to connect to my breath and step into my body and find one thing that I know to be true about myself? You can be grateful for your breath and just take a deep inhale and exhale. You can just be grateful for your breath. If you can find nothing else, that is a miraculous thing on its own. How amazing is this body that you can sit and just breathe and just be. And by you just being, there's nothing else that you need to do. And in that moment, just do that. And you can use this throughout your day. Just taking a moment to breathe and recognize your beautiful breath and be grateful for that. And how amazing it is that this whole system works on you taking a breath. A deep breath from the bottom of your stomach and just filling yourself up and pausing and just feeling that life and just exhaling and just allowing the body to slowly release that. And honestly, these are so simple practices. These practices. And I just want to say this, I could have really gone about this and sat and prepped everything and read it out, but I want to connect with you because, to be honest, I'm pretty sure so many of you have possibly been to a doctor, or you've spoken to counselors, or you've reached out to friends, and everyone is, do this. But you have to make the choice. You are the one that makes the change. And I want to level with you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not saying that everything that I'm even saying is going to work for you specifically. But maybe there's just one thing that gets you to think a little bit differently. And how amazing is that? That nugget creates awareness. And once there's awareness, you can never go back. You can't become unaware of something that you're aware. And that's a subtle shift that can lead to great change in your life. And the last thing, and this is a tip that I picked up from someone called Mel Robbins. She has a book, and she founded something called the 5-second rule. And I'm sure you've heard about the 5-step rule, that 5 things that you can see, 4 things you can touch, those type of things. But this is a little bit different. And all you do is you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when you get there, you take action. You take an action. That's all you do. You count 5, 4, 3, 2. I don't want to wake up this morning. Life is too hard. I feel this weight on my chest. I didn't sleep. I watched Netflix till 2 in the morning. And now I've got to go to work. I hate my job. How does that feel? It feels dense. I feel it. I know you feel it. But by you just accepting that these external things are validating your existence, and by you refusing to take action for yourself and honoring yourself by taking an action. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up, get out of bed. And it works. It literally gives you a moment between your brain, your thoughts, the consciousness, and your feelings. And that little gap that you are given by using this tool, that's where you take your gap. And I'm going to override my whole system. I'm going to hack myself in this moment, and you get up. Maybe you set a goal like, I want to work out every morning. Or I want to meditate. I want to start reading for 15 minutes a day, because that's going to empower me to make better decisions for myself. I'm going to start journaling every day and start trying to get my monkey brain on paper so I don't need to think about the same things the whole day. Those are all tools that fill up your cup. You see how everything kind of links together? So let's try and put that together. Put all of this together. Firstly, you creating awareness that you are not your thoughts. You realizing that, wow, okay, cool. So I could be pulling in information from other spaces like a Wi-Fi router or a cloud computer, and I'm just pulling in information, and I need to recognize if it's mine or if it's someone else's. Fantastic. So now you've established a filter. Next, you connect to your breath, and you find gratitude in breathing and just being. I mean, what's more amazing than that? And then lastly, you've got a tool that you can use for anything. I mean, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I've got this meeting, and I've got to be the chair of this meeting, or I have to start studying, and I've been putting this off, and now I am deeply anxious because I've been procrastinating, because I have underlying beliefs about studying, or whatever the case may be. And you take action. By you taking action, you create change. You catalyze your life. By you being grateful, you find joy in the things that once were mundane. Now that's amazing. That's a gift on its own. No longer is the wind just the wind. It's an experience. No longer are you just in a body. You are having an experience. You are a soul having a human experience. And I just want to say one last thing. It has taken me years to get to where I am today. And I can say without a doubt, I was deeply depressed probably from the age of 7, 8. So it's about 20 years of my life where I can recognize it. And I still have those tendencies if I slip up. Even as a teacher, even as a coach, even as a healer, whatever. I'm still human. But it's the choice that I make every single day, every moment of the day. Do I fall back? No. If I fall back, I've built this beautiful foundation of trust within myself. And I know that I have myself. I know that I am my safe space. And I can get back up and roll with the punches. When my mind gets too busy, I can take control of that. When my feelings get too big, I know that I am not my feelings. I don't disassociate from my body, but I can disassociate from my feelings and look at my emotions as messengers. Yes, you may need medication. I was on medication for a brief time, but I made a choice to get off because it wasn't helping me. You may need to go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. You may need to just speak to a friend or find someone that you can connect to or join a group of people that are supporting one another. And that's fine, but at the end of the day, it comes to you making the decision for yourself. So I just want to say, I witness you. And I want to honor you for taking the time to watch this video. And I don't believe in chance. So thank you for taking the time to witness me and to hear my message. And I truly hope from the bottom of my heart that I was able to serve you in some way. And I love you. And just take this one moment and just sit with that. You can close your eyes and just put your hand on your chest and just say, I love you. I love you. I love you. And feel that, and it might feel weird. And that's okay. And that's something else you can do. Just say that to yourself. Everything is healed through love. Everything. Transcends and is the backbone of all these different practices. Loving yourself. Love yourself back to life. With that being said, if there's anything that resonated with you, or if you would like to connect with me, I do have a website, and all my links are on the site. And please, I'm here to support you and to connect along this journey that we all share. May you have a beautiful day, and please honor yourself and love yourself in this moment. Just take a moment. Pause this thing if you can. Just give yourself that second, or 2 or 3. There's nothing wrong in taking time for yourself.